Welcome to Yubi's workshop. Are you guys here? Do you guys have space? You can come a little in front. Are you guys okay? Okay. Welcome back. Hi, new clients, guests. Today is my mixed media portrait workshop. I think everyone except for Kim brought photographs. She's gonna paint her thing because she knows how to paint. Yes. Mixed media. You'll do it. Mixed media portrait is actually, I'm actually more stronger in that than the landscapes because I started that. I started photography way before I painted. So using photograph was actually photography, it's like my sketch. Rather than I sketch my face, I always had a photograph on the base of all the pictures that you're seeing here. That's a photograph. She's a photograph in the frame. She's a photograph. I'm gonna bring her. She's the first layer. Just wanna bring the examples. So people think it might be harder, but I think to be honest, the abstract classes that we did before, it's a harder version for me because there's no sketch and I'm only using materials, just pure materials. And it's very, it's like walking into the unknown. But having a sketch, it's easier because there's a composition. You kind of imagine how she's gonna look. It's advanced. I think the class itself is advanced because you guys have to think about composition where you guys are not used to. But for me, portrait work, mixed media artwork is actually easier for me and more fun. So I guess there's pros and cons, which I do both. So we're gonna start like before. We're gonna do collage first, photo collage first. I have a canvas here. And next we are going to, after the collage, I usually put a lot of plaster, but plaster usually I recommend to dry overnight, which we can't do today, hopefully next time. But without the collage, we're gonna try to make much texture as possible. But when we have smaller surface like yours, 11 by 17, it takes less to make more texture. For this, it's larger surface, so I will need way more texture. So I have layers and layers of plaster over and over again. But for you guys, it'll be okay without paper. We have dried pressed flour today as well. Trey was mentioning fabric. Well, maybe I'll bring fabric next time too. Again, today's purpose of workshop, more than I educate you how to paint, I want you guys to finish something today in 2 hours. You are going to hang this in your wall. I don't want you to take anything in progress. I want you to finish. When it's 7:50, I want you to really think about how am I gonna finish this? Because as an artist, finishing up something is a very strong, not just an artist, in life. I think it's a very strong matter to have in life. You gotta know how to finish things. And when you finish something creative, you're creating something and you finish it, I feel very, not just accomplished, but have a sense of purpose in life. And you're like, oh, I finished something. I could do something more. I could do something next. Well, what's next that I can start? So your aim is not to create a beautiful painting. That's second. First is you really want to finish something, okay? And as probably the first row knows how it goes, I'm not going to teach you step by step of coloring green and blue. I'm just going to give you a generic idea and you're going to flow into that. You're going to find something that you're going to bring, okay? Okay, we're going to have our collaged photo. I have this photo of me. Okay, so the composition comes in here. So my canvas is similar like yours, tall. I usually like to have the portrait in the center. Photographers here, I do like to center it either in the 2/3 center of it or above, not below. But this is my preference. You could have her center lower. This photograph is way bigger than her, but I'm probably gonna go here. And this is where you have to imagine look at your photographs. My imagery, you've seen my work. I'm very interested in seascape and forestscape. I see my figures becoming the Mother Earth. So, for example, I can take her, but I think I did see her as like a Mother Earth, like more of a green, and she's growing into a flower or growing into a creation that grows from the land. That's where I usually think about when the collage comes in. So when I glue her here, I'm probably gonna collage it down right here to make her body go up. Or it can be the other way. She can go here and the land can be, or sea can extend over here, and maybe I can have flowers growing up. So I tend to think of very natural, organic elements. So if you have your photograph, if you have an idea, I kind of see your figures are kind of standing somewhere. So have a rough idea, and according to the idea, you're gonna glue it, okay? And usually the edge, I usually take out the edge because we're gonna collage around it, and if the edge is too strong, when you paint over it, you can see the edge, and I don't like that. I like ripped edges. So according to what I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna do that flower idea. Why not? Okay. I'm probably gonna glue it like this, and I'm gonna collage it around here, and I'm probably gonna extend the collage. So the reason why we're doing collage is because if we glue like this, and if we paint it, you're gonna see like this is canvas and this is photography, right? It's actually making a bridge. I'm kind of extending the photograph into the canvas so it looks natural. Like all these works, like these were all collage. Do you see the collage extending here? Do you see the collage extending here? I'm actually extending the collage so it blends in rather than, oh, this is a photograph and this is a canvas and she just painted on top. No, I'm creating the bridge. And that's why plaster is important, because plaster is also a very important bridge. But we don't have that today. We're only gonna do paper. And I started off without plaster in the beginning, so we'll be fine. So I'm gonna go around and help you find the composition. Let's see what you're interested in.
Glue or medium?
Yes, yes. Glue is in front of. Okay, I'm gonna do mine too.
Yeah, I always just like, I'm thinking colors in my head and then I'll make it mad.
Is there a special brush we should use for the glue?
No. Can use any.
Okay. And oh, my word is so funny.
But if the photograph already carries like a color and I try to switch it, I think it usually takes a little longer. So I learned my lesson where, okay, if the photograph already has like warm tone, I should probably, yeah. But that's why I print it usually black and white, unless it's already monotone, like Lauren's dress, it's already black. I wouldn't mind printing it black and white or color. Yeah, or if you want, Lauren, you can even recolor your dress to something else.
Okay, I'll think about it.
But you like the black dress, right?
See when inspiration.
Okay, what inspiration? Yes.
You have been like telling me to watch it, and I've seen the clips.
And I know most of you guys are already in like collaging, but if I think like freely collaging is a way, and I usually just like therapeutically like do collage because sometimes I don't want to think when I do painting or at work. Yeah. Yeah, because when I do like actual detailed work, I'm like really focusing. Like nobody can call me. I have my headphones on. But I was about to say, there's oil pastels in front of you, and I usually like create a sketch. So like I was saying, she's gonna probably become like a land. So I'm creating a sketch so it leads my collage. She has really small shoulders. I'm gonna go. Okay, and I'm gonna imagine, so like extension, like I was talking about, I'm gonna make her flower. You know, I like that red flower that's already there. This is just an idea if you don't have if you can't sketch it out. I'm gonna extend this flower.
But you can do this. Oh, that's what I do.
This is just like a sketching, like a generic idea, because if you have a generic composition, you know where you're going. I like oil pastels because they are generally thicker and stickier than just pastels. Pastels are very, very dusty. They get on my hands, they get in my lungs. I never liked it, but I really want to get back to it. They are literally oil paint and sticks. It's rich, it's not that dusty. So I am extending the flower right here. I see some green on my head with that, so I'm gonna extend that also. And oil pastels just like work with a lot of just different wet mediums, because mixed media, the reason why we call mixed media is because mixed media meaning we're mixing wet mediums, dry mediums together. In school, I was taught not to do that, but because they don't like each other, but it works. Mixed media is actually very important for me because I think it represents the multicultural element in me. Like you think, because we think two different things cannot mix, but I'm a total result of two different things missing, like Eastern, Western, different cultures, different languages. So I think mixing media, like in school, I never thought that was weird. And I started to do that in school, and they were like, how are you mixing acrylic with oil paint, oil pastel? I'm like, why not? Just do it. Like once it dries, oil pastel can go on anywhere. So mixed media is a very like a symbolic thing for me, where it represents who I am. And I think like friends here would know, I do also carry a personality where I think everyone has different qualities. I'm very embraceable to people who have different backgrounds, different cultures, because I know if acrylic paint and oil pastels can mix, anybody could, be mixed or be friends. So it's a philosophy. This is a very important philosophy of me, mixed media. Yeah. Like I actually really try to like use only one medium. Like I'm only gonna paint. I'm only gonna use oil pastels, or I'm only gonna use acrylic paint, and it never works. I really try though.
How does that work for you?
I really try. I actually really have to even like the collection before this exhibit, I had a whole turquoise series, and I had to really discipline myself, like don't use anything else, just turquoise. Okay, so I have a rough sketch, and I'm actually gonna collage now. Wow, you're already sketching. I love the colors.
I was gonna do other stuff.
I think
I
think you should extend.
I keep one from Ray's.
Okay, Doug, Trey, and Abby. Look here. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3.
Walked in and she was like,
1, 2. And guys, be rough. Be rough. Like when you collage, like my collage stage is like my free flow stage. Like just like paste. Because you could cover it with paint at the end anyways. If you hate it, you could just cover it. So don't be shy. It's like you're going back to your elementary school doing collage. I actually didn't do collage like at my Korean elementary school, but. Okay, let's paint. After we start painting, you could always go back to collage. Okay, paint. Our front row students will already know, but when you paint, I've always been asked about color theory, but there is two ways. There's bright. I keep saying bright, but light and dark, okay? When you wanna make something bright, or when you wanna make something light, you either mix white or yellow. Okay, they're all in your paint bucket, or paint little tubs in there. When you want to make something dark, you either mix brown or black. And in last class, somebody did ask me if you want to make something mute, like more tuned down. I'm going to write mute. You can mix gray. Okay. But this ratio, it's like if you have, I'm gonna draw this right here. If you have this much of red or green, I have green right here. If you wanna make something lighter green, meaning you're gonna mix white into the green, right? You're really putting like this much of white or this much of yellow because it could impact more. In sense of dark, if you're making this green darker, you can mix brown, right? But you're gonna mix really small because even darker things, brown and black, they could make green dark really, really quick. So this is how you color mix, okay? And that's the light side. And the other side is warm and cold. Okay? And it's very simple. The colors that you know. If you want to make something warm, let's say I have a green right here in the corner, but I want to make it warm. Then you mix. Any ideas? What warm colors do you know? Red, orange, yellow as well. Yes. If you want to make that green right here, but colder, I want to make it cold. Then you're going to mix something cold. You would know it's blue, purple, and maybe gray. Gray kind of could be cold, yeah? So that's how you mix. So according to what I have, I see, because my face is already, it's kind of like blended into the background. I actually want to make this background a little brighter, like this old book color. So I'm gonna do like beige. So when I want to make beige, I'm gonna mix yellow and white. If I want to make that yellow and white little muter, I'm gonna either mix gray or brown. So whatever you have right now, like for Doug, he has a lot of whites and blues. He might do blues. I told you about the turquoise. I might need to help you. Are your eyes really dried from AC?
Maybe.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Do you want to move?
No, I'm good.
Oh, okay. You have black. Are you gonna do black dress?
I think so.
Okay. But yeah, let's start painting, guys. We're gonna start painting. I'm gonna go around and help make colors. I'm extending my background here. Because if you think your paint is like not really listening to you, then that's when you put a little bit of water. Because that dilutes. We talked about this last class too. I love dripping. So you put a lot of water on your paint and you drip, and it makes the surface a bit more easier. I'm just gonna drip right here. Like pour the paint. And anyone who has gloves, like don't be afraid to use your hands. So like right now, I'm making my body as the ground, as you say, and I have like, my paint is very watery, like it's like watery. It means when I put paint on top of paper, it's not covering like solid green, but it's actually like covering light enough so I see the text under it. So for like Lauren's dress, if you don't want to cover the whole text over the dress, I would prefer if you have either put less paint on your brush or put water, a lot of water on your paint like I'm doing right now, so it kind of dilutes, like watercolor, yeah. So that's what I'm doing right now for mine. I'm letting my yellow dry so I'm gonna put flowers on it with my oil pastels. And at this time, because everything's wet, you could also, and the glue's wet, you could actually glue more things if you want with collage. And like I'm doing, I'm actually letting my green paint like fall in water. And I think I also mentioned this in the last class. If you put a lot of white paint in your brush and you flip, woo, do you see that? I love doing this. Feel free to move your paint around. I love drips. I love drips. And if you actually don't like the drip, you can actually make the spit kind of blend with your hand, with your brush like this. Because I want my workshops not to be like informative, that's more second, but I think my really intentions for the workshop is like I want people to experience freedom and creativity and childlike with mediums.
I love this. I love this.
Sound of Music!
Oh, that's right.
Da, da. And when your paint is wet, like if your paint is still wet, this is the perfect timing you're blending. Like right now, my yellow here and the green here is not dry, right? I'm blending it all together. I love gradients. Like Trey. Okay, we're gonna move on to oil pastels. Okay, and I know things are not dry, but I'm still gonna do it. Okay. Okay, this is the part that we did not do in the last workshop because we didn't have faces. So pay attention. I love doing faces. It's like putting makeup on. Okay. Yes. So, for instance, I know some of you already have black and white photos. So what we're doing is contouring. Like girls, when we do makeup, contouring like here, yes, we're doing contouring. So you can use our oil pastels. So I don't recommend black for contouring because we don't do contouring with black, right? We usually do like brown, shadow color, like brown, beige. But I have a sharp mechanical pencil. I don't think I have pencil for you guys, but I'm gonna pass around the mechanical pencil, or you can actually use, brown pastels if you want. So what I'm doing is contouring. I'm actually doing like outlines. I'm going around the edges because this part is important because like doing it and doing without it, it actually makes a lot of difference because the paint is so blocky and very exaggerated. If we also have to exaggerate the photos. So I'm thinking like, I'm gonna take this model to a photo shoot. Means if you've ever done a photo shoot, you need makeup like twice as heavier than usual because when you photograph someone, it blows away, like it looks very flat. So what I'm doing is I'm actually going over the lines that I have of the face. And when there's shadow, like right here, I have my nostrils, there's shadow, and there's shadow like under my nostrils, like side my nostrils. I'm just making shadows. Like I'm going over with graphite or mechanical pencil, and I'm just coloring or making more shadows stronger. I'm gonna do really quick so I can pass around the mechanical pencil. It's like, because like, you don't have to know exact what the shadow is. Because you know, we have pencils too. Like right here, look, there's their shadow here, right? That's all you gotta see. Then I'm actually gonna just emphasize it like this. And it's pencil, so it blends in. Because mechanical pencil, it'll be probably harder to blend than old pastel. So if you have old pastel, you can try, but it's just stronger. And I have eyes. I'm extending my eyelashes. Why not? Yeah, and Miss Kim has pencils too. Maybe Abby can borrow one if you want one. Huh?
Is there any paint in my eye?
There's paint on your face.
Yeah, but not my eye, right?
Not in your eye.
Okay.
It's like right here though.
Okay. Is there anything on my eye?
No. I mean, it'll get off. And like I have hair, right? I have bangs right here in the photo. I'm actually like extending the bangs. Like more hair, see, like this. I love this part. And I probably have eye on the other side and I'm extending my eyelash on the other side. So a lot of hair like this, like I had black hair, but I was like, I want her to be like goddess. So I extended the hair white, like painted more. I'm doing that here. Okay, I have 2 mechanical pencils. I'm gonna have one each on this 2 table. And here. I'll wipe it up for you, Trey. Because there's some parts that you can't really see. And the next part is the cheeks. So the cheeks are really important in my culture. This is called 연지곤지, and it's like a traditional blush back then. Because back then there was no makeup, but the most expensive pigment that we can get was red, and it was either from any berries or flowers. And when a woman got married, they usually wore a traditional hanbok, which mine is not traditional at all, but similar to this. And then they had a 연지곤지 pigment on their cheeks. And this symbolized innocence and purity of a bride. So I thought when I studied Korean traditional clothing, I thought that was beautiful. So that kind of carried on with my other works. That's why my figures, if you see on the artworks, they're wearing the 연지곤지. So you don't have to do 연지곤지. You can just do a blush, you know, like your makeup. I'm gonna do a 연지곤지, meaning it's just a circle, almost like a clown, but it's a little smaller than a clown. So I just made a little circle with my old pastels, and usually old pastels have a blender, which is this. It's literally a piece of paper, and I cut out the paper part so it's white, and I blend the oil pastels, and it blends. See, it blends.
Whoa.
So I'm gonna do that with the cheek. If anyone needs a blender, just call me out. And with the lips too. I love doing lips. I'm actually gonna do the same red. I have red here. So it's almost like, here, I'll show it again. It's like I have red and I blend. That's what we're doing for the makeup. You can do it anywhere. You can do this anywhere, but I'm gonna do it on my lips. So because it blends, I'm actually putting on an area where it's smaller than I want. It's smaller. I have it on my lips and I'm going to blend. And if you don't want the blender, you can do it with your finger. You could do it with your paper, whatever. You can try blending with anything, it works. Okay, I have makeup. There we go. And you can be creative. Like, if you don't know how to put makeup, you could be creative. Like, your face doesn't have to be the same color as like pink, like a skin tone. Since I already have yellow around my figure, I'm actually gonna put yellow on like my eyeliner. And just like a highlight, like around my face. So I look like a fairy or something. And at this point, because like technically in the order wise, the oil pastel is the last step. So you're putting highlights. So right now I'm seeing her and I have a collar. Like I'm wearing this shirt that has a collar and I really want to emphasize this. So I brought something bright bright pink, and I'm emphasizing the color like here. You're doing okay, Abby? Awesome. So this is the point where you're actually really pulling out the important parts. Like if your figure is holding a flower, you're really gonna put that flower pop out because that's probably center of the composition. If your figure has a dress, this is where you're really like painting on top of or putting all pastels over your dress so it really pops out.